so you can see Jamar's. Shake coming. Let's do it, man. So, how's that heat?
It's better than yesterday.
Right? Come on in, we'll just... So, we'll actually pull your x-rays up here. I got them marked up here. Come on over. So, pull up here. So last time you were in, we did not adjust you, right?
Nope,
so
just
we're just going to look
stuff,
at these here, write out a little playbook for you. But this is your spine, this is your right shoulder here, and this is your left shoulder. So right hip, left hip, looking at your back. We did peek at this the other day about this scoliosis.
Right.
You kind of knew maybe you had a little bit of a scoliosis, but when I put the numbers to it here, it's 24 degrees.
Yeah.
Now usually scoliosis gets slowly worse, you know, and maybe it's reached its peak, maybe it hasn't.
Right.
So we're not, it's just something we would watch. Mm-hmm. Usually if we're doing any sort of treatment plan for someone of trying to get their spine more balanced and more aligned, then maybe we would take an x-ray in 8 weeks or 12 weeks or something like that, just to peek in there and see if that's improved.
Right.
And the alignment of the ilium here, where it's all kind of tipped down. The last thing to notice here is that your right hip is 20 millimeters lower than your left one.
Yeah.
So that's anatomical, and we can try to figure out where that's coming from, whether it's your femur or your tibia, you know, which one may be longer.
Yeah.
But you were probably born with that, unless, did you have any trauma to your legs or?
Super low back, but not anything to my hips or legs.
Hips, legs, nothing like that.
Feet, but I broke a toe, but that's about
Yeah,
it.
that's probably not going to do
No.
it. So we'll see what that's all about. Sometimes we'll put a lift in there because it's so much, 20 millimeters.
Yeah.
I'd only recommend half if you did use a heel lift of some kind.
Okay.
But it's tough because if you use one, you want to use it pretty consistently.
Right.
So you'd kind of like,
hard.
it's tough to do. So I only recommend it for people who are serious and want it and, you know, are going to use it more regularly, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But we can do a lot with just the chiropractic adjustment here to kind of balance everything and get it adjusted.
Cool.
Any questions about this one here?
I don't think so.
What do you think of that scoliosis?
It's pretty crazy. I was telling my family, like, I couldn't believe that was my back when I looked at it.
It's tough to see, isn't
Yeah.
it? Well, and so refresh me again. It was mainly low back that you were complaining about coming in here, right?
And then into the left hip.
Left hip.
Yeah, is where it gets kind of fiery pain in the hip.
So a lot of times what happens, because this is so imbalanced, your weight of everything is out of balance, and sometimes people will lean more onto that hip subconsciously.
Yeah.
And then you'll get more pain into that hip.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Of course, what you don't see here is how these muscles have to adapt to this being different.
Right.
So you could be getting a chronically tight hip flexor or muscle coming in here, and we could treat it to get better, but it's going to kind of naturally get like that because it's out of balance, right? So we'll look at both of that. We'll look at muscle and we'll adjust you today if that sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's anything else here. Kind of gets nice and straight here through the middle, just a little off here on the neck, as you can see.
Yep.
So we'll balance that out to the front. Cool. And then from the side, it's mainly curves, making sure those are normal curves, which your neck is pretty good here. Nothing major to note about. And then in the low back, actually probably have too much curve right here, to be honest. So if we even did kind of a measurement here, I mean, that's closer to probably 50 some degrees, and it should be less than 45.
Oh, okay.
So not only do you have a curve this way where you shouldn't, you also have too much curve, so you just have so much going on in your low back. It's no wonder it bothers you. Yeah, and it's pretty constant, like pretty frequent.
Yeah, it'll flare up and get a little worse, but it's pretty much always there.
Yeah. So let's let's see how it adjusts, huh?
Cool.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
I'm down.
Go ahead and have a seat here again and face that way. I'm gonna run the nerve scope. Let's see. Kind of follow that spine curve here. Yeah, so you can see Jamar's got the nerve pressure way down at that lower part of his right hip. So we've got to adjust the right hip, but you feel a lot of symptoms here on the left.
Yeah.
And then we're going to adjust this transition segment right here. Let's feel that. So, yeah, I remember doing the range of motion tests on you, and that wouldn't go that way.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
So, transition segment, scoot forward here a little bit, and we'll double check your neck here. Jamar, did you have any symptoms in your neck before you came in here?
No, my neck's usually okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mainly low back then.
Yep.
All right, so we'll balance out your neck too, because you remember seeing how that's not, literally your head's not on straight. Your mom probably told you that
Yeah,
when you were
exactly.
young, right? So nothing like your low back, really. Perfect. How'd that feel?
Crazy.
Pretty.
The first adjustment ever right there.
That's the first adjustment ever.
Yeah. That's pretty wild, honestly. You can feel it.
Did you feel it down your hands too a little bit?
Like just kind of like a tingly.
Yeah, like a release.
I'm sure
and-
everything's kind of just corrected itself now. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I was describing like a guitar. I think I told you that
Yeah.
before, where you tune one end and the whole
Go
thing
straight.
can be
Yeah.
impacted.
Yeah.
So let's go up here if you're ready for the next. All right, you can set your glasses there if you want to.
Step up here.
Yeah, just stand right on there and lay right on it, and we'll get your hands. Yep, just like that. There you go. We're gonna get this one, okay?
Okay.
There it is. Good. How'd you do there? Let's see if his legs are any different. So you can see here, this is interesting. When he's laying down, his feet aren't as far off. You can see the difference that this one's up higher, but definitely looks better when he's laying down than we saw on the x-ray. In the middle here, your head will be this way, you'll be on your side. And
I've seen this before.
yeah, so you'll feel more in the GONSTEAD technique. It's less of this big twist maneuver. It's more of you rolling with me to keep the spine neutral. Gotcha. That moved good. All right, let's have you come up and have a seat right here. I'm gonna have you put your knees together here. I'm gonna get these equal right here. So, I'm just looking for the height here. I don't see hardly any difference here of the length of the tibia. So this lower half of your leg, you know, you'd see a pretty, trying to get a difference. Now here, Preston, if you come over here and you go like an aerial view straight down on his knees, you can see this one's longer than that one. And you kind of go over this kind of restorative plan here,
Mm-hmm.
where usually it takes just a few weeks. You know, each adjustment kind of builds on each other.
Yeah.
And so we'll just kind of see you probably a couple times a week for a few weeks.
Cool.
As you get better, see you once a week, and just kind of as your body holds adjustments and stays balanced, we just keep going from there.
Cool. I did have one question.
Yeah.
I was wondering about like if something like what happened last week where it gets really bad and like it's almost like I can't get out of bed.
Right.
Can't go to work. Can't coach soccer. Is there any way I can like get in for an emergency one or what?
Yeah,
what
you
would
get in.
recommend?
You get in as soon as possible.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you can text me, you can email,
Sweet.
call, just reach out.
Because it's just literally it'll be like I sleep at a friend's house or you know
Yeah.
like something, sleep in the wrong bed and I'll wake up and
You're terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's
So
something
people
that
just
quick.
come right in for that, you know, as
Cool.
needed, you know, and then we'll just keep going.
Sweet. I love it.
Like it?
Yeah, I feel better already. That was a good experience.
Were you scared to get adjusted, or
Yes,
were you
honestly,
were? Yeah.
and that's why, like I told you last time, I did all my like research on it because just the idea of it scared me.
Yeah.
And so like knowing that I knew what you were gonna do really helped, and so I wasn't as nervous coming back today as I was kind of.
And you had said something about watching YouTube and seeing other types of adjustments where they're wrenching the neck really aggressively.
Yeah.
And
or they'll just do your entire back, and like I didn't like that because I don't think my entire back, as we can kind of see, is really the problem. The middle's okay, the neck's a little off, the lower back's really bad, and I kind of want it more like personal to me.
Right. There's a philosophy of just, you know, just popping any joint that you can.
Yeah.
And releasing endorphins is a good thing. I don't have that same philosophy.
Right.
I find exactly what needs to be adjusted and only adjust those. And GONSTEAD was all about that too. Just find what it needs, fix it, and leave it alone. Just leave the normal stuff good.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you so much.